Okay, good morning, all of you. Yesterday we discussed which topic? Anyone can please. Last lecture, what we have discussed? Last lecture. Anyone? Okay. In last lecture, we have seen the static characteristics and switching characteristics of SCR. Are you got the point? Okay. In last lecture, we have discussed static, VI characteristics of SCR and switching characteristics of SCR. It is clear? Next, today we will see the turn-on methods of SCR. Turn-on methods of SCR. Okay. So, what is meant by turn-on methods of SCR? What it means? Yes, please. Anyone? Any problem? What it means? Turn-on methods of SCR means in how many ways we can turn on the SCR. In how many ways we can turn on the SCR. It is clear. See here, with anode positive with respect to cathode, okay, anode is positive with respect to cathode, a thyristor can be turned on by any of the from 5 different methods. Okay, means what we can say here, we have a 5 methods to turn on the SCR when the SCR is in forward bias condition. Okay, when the SCR is in forward bias condition, okay, then we can turn on that SCR in 5 ways. Okay, in 5 techniques. Okay, what are those? First one is the forward voltage triggering method. First one is the forward voltage triggering method, and second one is the gate triggering method. Second one is the gate triggering method, and third one is the dv by dt triggering method. Third one is the dv by dt triggering method, and fourth one is the thermal triggering or temperature triggering method. Fourth one is the temperature or thermal triggering method. Clear? And fifth one is the light triggering method. Fifth one is the light triggering method. Clear? These are the these are the 5 methods. These are the 5 methods to turn on the SCR. Okay, to turn on the SCRs. Okay, it's a very important topic. It's a very important topics for your examination. What are the turn on methods of SCR and explain in details. Okay, what are the turn on methods of SCR and explain. Okay, so these are the 5 methods. Okay, to turn on the SCR. Okay, to turn on the SCR. Okay, when it is forward bias condition, when the SCR is in forward bias condition, the SCR can be turned on in 5 ways. The SCR can be turned on in 5 ways. First one, the forward voltage triggering, and second one, the gate triggering method, and third one is the dv by dt triggering, and fourth one, the temperature or thermal triggering method, and fifth one, the light triggering method. Okay, now we will see the one by one. First one, the forward voltage triggering method. Okay, forward voltage triggering method. So how we can turn on the SCR by using forward voltage triggering method? Forward voltage triggering method is nothing but anode is positive with respect to cathode. Okay, the supply, the voltage is applied to the SCR is एनोड को पॉजिटिव देना है, कैथोड को नेगेटिव सप्लाई देना, लाइक दिस. इट इज क्लियर. एंड गेट इज ओपन means there is no voltage is applied to the gate circuit, means gate circuit is open, there is no supply to the gate circuit. It is clear. So what we can say here, the voltage is applied to the SCR. Okay, anode is positive terminal of the supply and cathode is negative terminal of the supply. Okay, anode is positive terminal of the supply and cathode is negative terminal of the supply. It is clear. So what will happening here, when anode is positive and cathode is negative, then what will happening,
The junction J1 and J3 is already in forward bias condition. The junction J2 is the reverse bias condition. Already we know the junction J1, J3 forward bias condition, junction J2 the reverse bias condition. How it is formed forward bias condition, junction J1, J3, and how the junction J2 is reverse bias condition. Already we have seen in the last lecture. It is clear? Already we have seen in the last lecture where VI characteristics of SCR. Okay, so when anode is connected to the positive supply and cathode is connected to the negative supply, then what will happen? The junction J1 and J3 is forward bias condition, then junction J2 is reverse bias condition. It is clear? Reverse bias condition. Then what will happening here? In a forward bias SCR or thyristor, junction J1, J3 are forward bias, junction J2 is reverse bias. Therefore, increasing this bias voltage will narrow down the width of the depletion region of junction J2, and a particular voltage, this depletion region will vanish. At a particular junction, the depletion region will be vanish. Vanish means finished. So what we can say here, by increasing this voltage across the anode and cathode terminals, whatever the depletion layer is formed, whatever the depletion layer is formed, the depletion layer is formed at junction J2 like this. Clear? Means ions will be present, positive ions, negative ions, or electrons, holes are will be present across this junction. It is clear? Means this junction, this is the depletion layer. This is the depletion layer. It is clear? Okay. By increasing this voltage, by increasing this voltage, by increasing this voltage, then what will happening? This depletion layer is going to decrease. By increasing this voltage across the anode and cathode, this depletion layer is going to decrease, and one particular voltage level, the depletion layer is totally going to decrease, and the path will provide to flow the current from anode to cathode, and the path will provide to flow the current from anode to cathode like this. Anode to cathode, the path will provide to flow the current. Before, okay, junction J1 already forward bias condition, the current can flow up to this. Okay, the junction J3 is already forward bias condition, but junction J2 is the reverse bias condition. That's why there is no chance to flow the current through this direction. Okay, because the depletion layer is formed. Okay, when this depletion layer is going to decrease, then what will happening? Okay, the path will be provided to flow the current. Okay, the path will be provided to flow the current. Okay, if this junction is already forward bias condition, then what will happen? The current will be flow from anode to cathode. It is clear? This is the simplest. Clear? Next. So what we can see here means we can turn on the SCR without gate also. We can turn on the SCR without gate also. So how we can turn on the SCR without gate? By applying the forward voltage. By applying the forward voltage. Anode is connected to the positive and cathode is connected to the negative. But here we have to apply the more voltage across the anode and cathode. That is the, we have to remember this point. We have to apply the more voltage. For example, a rated value of the thyristor for 230 volts, for example. Okay, so how much voltage we have to apply in this method? Near 7 to 8 times of the rated voltage. Near 7 to 8 times of the rated voltage we have to apply that much of voltage, then only the thyristor can be turned on. Then only the thyristor will be turned on. Okay, for example, 230 volts is the rated voltage of the thyristor. So we, how much we have to apply? Near 1400 to 1500 volts we have to apply across the SCR. Then only the SCR will be turned on. Okay, near to 7 to 8 times. Okay, by applying this much of voltage, near about approx 1400 to 1500 volts. Okay, near about 1400 to 1500 volts, then what will happening? The thyristor may be damaged. The thyristor will be turned on, but the thyristor
maybe get damaged by applying the high voltage across the anode and cathode. By applying the high voltage across the anode and cathode of the SCR, so the thyristor can be turned on, but at the same time there is a chance to damage the SCR. At the same time, there is a chance to damage the or to destroy the SCR. It is clear because the applied voltage is very high. Applied voltage is very high. It is clear. So here, see here, VI characteristics of SCR already we have seen. You may notice that forward breakover voltage here without gate, gate current को gate को कुछ भी supply नहीं दिया अपन. Okay, gate circuit को कुछ भी supply नहीं दिया. Gate is open. Only we are applying the forward voltage across the anode and cathode. It is clear of the SCR. Okay, by increasing this voltage more and more at a one particular voltage level, okay, the SR is will be turned on. When the SR is will turn on, the voltage across the SR is suddenly falls. The voltage across the SR will suddenly falls, and it will be the current through the SR is increased. The current through the SR is increased because SR is turned on. Okay, the current is flowing through the device. Okay, the current is increased and the voltage suddenly falls from N to N point. It is clear. So at which voltage level the thyristor is turned on? Okay, here we are going to increase the voltages. Huh? At which voltage the thyristor is turned on, that voltages can be called as a forward breakover voltage. That voltage can be called as a forward breakover voltage that can be represented by a VB0. That can be represented by a VB0. It is clear. So this is the explanation already we have given in this one. Okay, so you can go through this PPT or material. Okay, I will send later. This is the simple process of the turn on methods of SCR by using forward voltage triggering. It is clear. Simply you have to remember here we are not applying any voltage to the gate circuit. Here we are not applying any voltage to the gate circuit. Only here we are applying the forward voltage. Okay, only here we are applying the forward voltage across the SCR. Positive terminal of the supply is connected to the anode, negative terminal of the supply is connected to the negative, so cathode. It is clear. So by increasing this voltage, okay, more and more, nearly 7 to 8 times of the rated voltage, then what will happening? The SCR, whatever the junction JT is reverse bias condition, this junction JT is goes into the forward bias condition. Means what we can say, whatever the depletion layer is formed across this junction, the depletion layer is going to decrease, and at one particular voltage level the depletion is totally completed and the path will be provided to flow the current from anode to cathode, to provide the path from provide the path for flowing the current from anode to cathode. Okay, but how much voltage we have to apply here? Near 7 to 8 times of the rated voltage. Near to 7 to 8 times of the rated voltage. Okay, here next. Okay, at which voltage levels the thyristor is turned on, that voltage is called as a breakover voltage. That voltage is called as a breakover voltage. Okay, when the SCR is turned on, the voltage suddenly falls across the SCR and the current is increased through the SCR. It is clear, but this is not a reliable method. This is not a reliable method because here we are applying the high voltage. Okay, due to this high voltage, there is a chance to damage the SCR. There is a chance to damage the SCR because we are applying the high voltage. We are applying the high voltage. It is clear. This is the simple concept of the forward voltage triggering method. Okay, it's not a reliable method. So the next one is the gate triggering method. Second method is the gate triggering method. So how we can turn on the SCR by using gate triggering? Okay, how we can turn on the SCR by using gate triggering? So here same as the previous one, but only here we are applying the voltage across the anode and cathode, normal voltage, whatever may be, where maybe 100 volts, 200 volts, whatever. Okay, we are applying the normal voltage, okay, across the anode and cathode, and at the same time we are giving the supply, or we are applying the voltage to the gate circuit. Okay, in between the gate and cathode, in between the gate and cathode, positive terminal of the supply is given to the gate and negative terminal the supply is connected to the cathode. Means cathode is the common. It is clear. So here only difference is previous technique is here. Here there is no voltage is applied to the gate circuit, but here the voltage is applied to the gate circuit. The voltage is applied to the gate circuit. It is clear. So here no need to apply the more voltage across the anode and cathode. Here no need to apply the more voltage across the anode and cathode. It is clear. Just we can apply the normal voltage across the anode and cathode. Just we can apply the normal voltage anode and cathode. Okay. See here, gate triggering is the method in which positive gate current is flown in forward bias SCR to make it on condition. Gate triggering is in fact the most reliable, simple and efficient method to turn on the SCR. So what we can see here, the gate triggering method is the most reliable method and it is a very simple method and it is a very efficient to turn on the SCR. It is a very efficient method to turn on the SCR. Okay, in this method, positive gate voltage between the gate and cathode. Okay, in this method, positive gate voltage between the gate and cathode. Okay, are applied in forward bias SCR, which establishes gate current from gate terminal to cathode. Okay, in forward bias current, it will establish the gate current. Okay, gate current from gate terminal to cathode. Okay, here what we can say here what will happening here the gate is injects some electrons into the inner p layer. Here the gate are injected some electrons into the inner p layer. Okay, this electron may reach the junction J2. This electron may reach the junction J2. Okay, so by increasing this gate current, then what will happening, the doping level of the electrons is increased. Okay, and these electrons may reach this junction J2. Okay, and by increasing the magnitude of this current, then what will happening, whatever the depletion layer is formed at the junction J2, this depletion layer is going to be decreased. Okay, this depletion layer is going to be decreased, and by increasing this gate current, again the depletion layer is going to decrease and it will start to flow the current from anode to cathode. Okay, it will start flow the from anode to cathode. Only this gate current is uses for the decreasing the this depletion layer only. It is clear. Only this gate current using for decreasing this for decreasing this depletion layer at junction J2. Okay, when this depletion layer is completed at junction J2. Okay, the anode is already positive and the cathode is already negative. So the current is flowing from anode to cathode like this. The current is flowing from anode to cathode. Positive to terminal, anode, PN, and negative terminal to supply. It is clear? Okay, this is the simplest method to turn on the SCR. But once the SCR is turned on, you can remove the gate current. There is no problem. Here, why we applied the gate current? Just for decreasing the depletion layer. Just for decreasing the depletion layer at junction J2. Once the SCR is turned on, we can remove the gate current. There is no problem. Still the SCR is conducts. It is clear, but one condition, okay, for removing the gate current. Okay, this anode current should be the maintain the some value. Then only we can remove the gate current. Which point should be maintained? Latching current. Which point should be maintained? Latching current. Okay, once the SCR will turn on, the current is flowing through the SCR. That current is called as a anode current. That current is called as a anode current. It is clear. Okay, once the SCR is turned on, we can remove the gate current, we can remove the gate circuit, but one condition should be satisfied. Which condition? The anode current should be above this value. Which value? Latching web point. Okay, the anode current should be above the latching point, then only you can remove the gate current. It is clear. Okay, then only you can remove the gate current, then still the SCR is remains in on condition. Okay, If the anode current is above this point, okay, if you remove the gate circuit, then there is no problem. The series still is remains on condition. Still remains on condition. For example, the anode current is at this point, below the latching point. Below the latching point. If you remove the gate current, the SR is going to be turned off. If you remove the remove the gate circuit, okay, the SR is going to turn off. The SR is going to turn off. That's why we have to remember while remove the gate circuit, okay, the anode current should be the above the latching point, then only we can remove the gate circuit. Otherwise, we cannot remove. It is clear? Next, okay, holding current, here we have given the definitions. Latching current is defined as the minimum value of the anode current which must be attained during the turn-on process of SCR to maintain the conduction even when gate current is removed. To maintain the conduction even gate current is removed. It's a very very important definition. Please note it all of you. Okay, what is the definition for the latching current? Latching current is defined as the minimum value of the anode current which must be attained during the turn-on process SCR to maintain the conduction even gate current is removed. Okay, please note it all of you. Okay, have you written the definitions for the latching current? At the same time, holding current. Once the SCR starts conducting, once the SCR or thyristor starts conducting, gate loses its control. Okay, the SCR or thyristor can now be turned off only if the anode current reaches below the satisfied value of the anode current. Okay, to turning off the SCR. Once the SR is to start the SCR, then there is no problem. Okay, if you want to off the thyristor, if you want turn off the thyristor, if you want turn off the SCR, then okay, then the anode current should be a below the holding current. Then only the turn SCR can be turned off. The anode current should be a below the holding current. इस holding point से कम होना चाहिए. Then only the SCR can be turned on. The anode current should be less than the holding point. Okay, should be less than the holding point. Okay, then only the SCR can be turned off. Okay, at which anode current level the SCR is going to be turned off, that point, okay, that point can be called as a holding point. Okay, this current is called as a holding current. Okay, this current is called as a holding current. So again I will give the definition. At which anode current levels the thyristor is going to be turned off, okay, that current can be called as a holding current. That current can be called as a holding current. It is clear? So here please remember, small differences between the latching current and holding current is a very very important point. So here one more important question here for your gate examination. Which current is greater than the which current is greater than latching current or holding current? Which current is the greater than latching current or holding current? Obviously latching current is greater than the holding current, na? Okay, obviously the latching current is always greater than the holding current. Okay, it's a very very important question for your gate examination. Okay, latching current is always greater than the holding current. Okay, IL greater than the IH. It is clear? So on one more point here. Okay, here we are applying the gate current. Okay, Ig1, Ig2, Ig3 means we are increasing the gate current. Okay, initially gate current is 0. Okay, and then we are increasing the gate current slowly, and then again we are increasing the gate current, again increasing the gate current. It is clear?
By increasing the gate current, then what will happen? The forward voltage level is going to decrease. The forward voltage levels is going to decrease for turning on the SCR. It is clear? If the magnitude of the gate current is like this, only small amount of voltage is can applied across the anode and cathode. If the magnitude of this gate current is at this point, at this point, so if magnitude of the gate current is decreases from Ig through Ig2, so voltage across the anode cathode should be a increase. Okay, if the again gate current is decreases from Ig2 to Ig1, again the voltage is increases across the anode and cathode terminal. Okay, if the gate current is 0, so we have to apply the more voltage across the SCR. So what we can say, this gate current and forward voltage across the SCR is totally inversely proportional. Totally inversely proportional. If the gate current is increases from Ig0 to Ig1, Ig1 to Ig2, Ig2 to Ig3, the voltage, the forward voltage level is going to decrease. V3 to 2V, V1, VB0 to V1, V1 to V2, V2 to V3. Means V3 less than V2 less than V1. Okay. And next here, Ig3 greater than Ig2 greater than Ig1. Okay, Ig3 is greater than the Ig2, Ig2 is greater than the Ig1. Here VB0 is greater than the V1 and V1 is greater than the V2 or V2 is greater than the V3, or we can say V3 less than the V2 less than the V1 or less than the VB0. It is clear? It's increasing order. Okay, here gate current in this way increasing order. It's both are inversely proportional. Both are inversely proportional. Gate current and forward voltage are inversely proportional. Okay, this is the simple concept of the gate triggering method. Simple concept of the gate triggering method. Okay. Next, dv by dt triggering method. Okay, dv by dt triggering method. What is the third method? dv by dt triggering method. dv by dt triggering method is nothing but rate of change of the forward voltage triggering method. Rate of change of the forward voltage means whatever we are applying the voltage across the iron cathode. Okay, that is the rate of change of that voltage can be rate of change of that voltage. Okay, and then SCR can be turned on by changing the rate of change of forward voltage. See here, dv by dt triggering is the technique in which SCR is turned on by changing the forward bias voltage with respect to time. By changing the forward bias voltage with respect to time. dv by dt itself means the rate of change of voltage with respect to time. The rate of change of voltage with respect to time. It is clear. As we know, we have discussed earlier in this past, junction J2 is the reverse bias condition. Okay, in a forward blocking mode. Okay, obviously, when anode is connected to positive, see here, when anode connected to the positive, in this method, anode is connected to positive and cathode is connected to the negative. Then what will happen? The junction J2 is reverse bias condition and junction J1, J3 is already forward bias condition. Okay, junction J2 is reverse bias condition means junction J2 is reverse bias condition means depletion layer is formed at this across this junction. Okay, electrons, negative ions will be present and positive ions will be present. Inner p layer, positive, positive mean. This is the depletion layer means what we can see here. This junction J2 is act as a capacitance because some electric potential or electric field is present across the junction. Some electric field is present across the junction. Negative ions are present in inner N layer and positive ions are present in inner P layer. Okay, by doping levels of the by dopings of the electron and holes. Okay, then what we can see here, some electric field is present across this junction. Some electric field or some electric potential are present at the junction J2 means what we can say, the junction J2 is act as a capacitance. The junction J2 is act as a capacitance. It is clear? The junction J2 is act as a capacitance. It is clear? Next, see here, what will happen if the junction J2 is act as a capacitance? Okay, here small leakage current is flowing through the capacitance, okay, through the junction J2. Okay, small leakage current is flowing through the junction J2. So that current can be represented by small I or IC. Okay, leakage current. So that is equal to rate of charge of, okay, dq by dt. Okay, rate of change of charge with respect to time, okay, can be called as a current I or IC leakage current. Means this leakage current is directly proportional to dq by dt. This leakage current is directly proportional to dq by dt. Here q is nothing but C into V. Here C is nothing but junction capacitance and V is nothing but voltage across the anode and cathode, that is VA, and C is nothing but junction capacitance CJ. So what we can say are by differentiating this equation with respect to time, okay, differentiating both side above equation with respect to time, we can get dq by dt is equal to d by dt of Cj into Va. Okay, d by dt of Cj into Va. Cj is nothing but junction capacitance. Va is nothing but anode voltage across the SCR. So d by dt of Cj into Va. So UV formula Cj into dVA by dt plus Va into dCj by dt. Okay, Cj into dVA upon by dt, d by dt of Va plus Va into d by dt of Cg. D by dt of Cg means what we can say, we are going to differentiating with this equation, and we are going to apply the UV formula, U into d by dt of V, V into d by dt of U. Okay, this is the formula. So here, but current is the dq by dt. Clear, dq by dt is nothing but current, and here whatever the electric field is present across the junction J2. Okay, this junction is act as a capacitance, and this capacitance is a constant. Okay, the junction capacitance is constant. Please all of you remember this junction capacitor is constant. Okay, so if the d by dt of constant is equal to 0, if the d by dt of constant, so we know the formula d by dt of constant is equal to 0. So what we can say here, d by dt of Cj is equal to 0. D into d by dt of Cj is equal to 0. So the total term will become a 0. This total term will become a 0. So what we can write here, equation I is equal to Cj into dVA by dt. Okay, I is equal to Cj into dVA by dt. Means what we can say that the charging current or leakage current is directly proportional to the anode voltage. Okay, directly proportional to the rate of change of anode voltage. Rate of change of anode voltage. If this rate of change of anode voltage increases, the current is also increases. If the rate of change of anode voltage is increases, the current is also increases. Okay, at a one particular rate of change of voltage level, the current is increases, the SCR will be turned on. The SCR will be turned on. Okay, this is the one of the method to turn on the SCR. Please wait, all of you. I will take the attendance. Please.